All right, here we go. Godfrey, welcome back.
I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back.
That's right.
I'm back. Vlad, I'm back on Vlad.
Back on Vlad.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's my. I think I'm looking at Lord Jamar, who's one of the gods of hip hop, and I'm like, I love that he's on. I said, I want to be. I hope I come back, and I'm back.
Hey, you did your thing last time.
I think I did.
Got a good reaction. Got a lot of views.
He's got views. I only look at the good comments. I don't look at the bad. When I see this, I'm like, nah, man.
I'm not looking at that one.
Nah, that's a mistake right there, son. Who knows what they talking about? It's probably talking about my head shape. Talking like, yo, this dude's ashy as fuck, man. Yo, get this ashy motherfucker some lotion. You know, this nigga like, yo, this nigga's lips, dog.
So, how long have you been in Hollywood?
Like 20 years.
20 years, right?
Hollywood, yeah.
Hollywood.
20 years.
Okay. Yeah. So, the whole rape thing that's happening right now.
People are going fucking down.
Have you ever had like a, because gay men have prominent roles in Hollywood.
They run Hollywood.
Yeah,
man.
Right. And like, why can't I think of the name? Terry Crews had that situation where one of the big dudes
grabbed him by his balls, man.
Yeah.
And Terry was like, I was gonna whoop his ass, but the wife said, relax. But I'm like, someone just grab your balls.
Have you ever had something like that happen?
Nah, man. Because I already don't get a gang of shit, and I would already be, nobody. I must have that energy that I
like, don't grab this guy's balls.
Yeah, I don't have that, like, I think I can put my finger in his ass and just have a laugh. I don't.
You're not that guy.
Maybe there's some black people or some brothers that be like, I think I could put my finger in his butt and we can have a real nice giggle. Maybe there's some brothers be like, you crazy, man. Put your finger in my ass. We gonna do that movie, right? You know we are. Oh my God, I love putting my finger in his ass. He's so cool. He already got a 3-picture deal.
That's why I think Dave Chappelle had kind of like a similar little joke about that. But the Harvey Weinstein, he's like, come on, Dave, I'll put you in all the Lord of the Rings. Put you in all 3
Dave's
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, shit. I'm going back to Africa. I'm out of here.
He's like, all right, hold on.
I'm out of here.
Hurry up, motherfucker.
Oh, shit.
He's like, hurry up. I got a meeting with Brett Ratner later on.
You know what I'm saying? It's, with all of this, all these allegations happening, it kind of sort of validates what people have been saying back in the day. Like, there's a lot of people who compromise themselves to get to certain spots, because there's a lot of, and I'm being honest, there's a lot of mediocrity in Hollywood that gets rewarded. And you sit there going, man, I know a lot of people, tons, way, way, way better than half these people. And they're getting everything. And I go, something's going on. Something's going on. Especially, I'm just saying, especially for an African-American, when they're getting just every goddamn thing on the planet, you're like, they're getting work like white dudes. You're like, well, something's up. I'm not saying that your talent can't get you. Okay, look at a guy like Denzel Washington. The best actor on the planet for me. Like, nobody can fuck with D. I don't care. Even Tom and what I love Vlad, because Vlad will go against you about rappers, and we're gonna talk about that Black Thought shit. Watch.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, yo. Listen, who do you think is the best actor? Denzel for me, hands down.
I got one for you.
Who you got?
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis is amazing, of course. I mean, I agree with you. I don't think Denzel for me is Daniel Day-Lewis is the best to me character actor. He's the best character because he can get into weird characters. Daniel Day-Lewis, you can't fuck with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
Denzel is always himself. But he's believable. You understand? Like Denzel, Denzel in what is it? Unstoppable was a train. It was a movie about a fucking train. He did 2 train movies in a row. And it's just a train. But Denzel's so good. He goes, "Are we gonna stop that train? All right. So we're gonna stop it. I believe we can stop this train, huh? Right? You, me, everybody in here. We're gonna stop this train. Right? It's going fast. Right? We gotta stop it. All right. We're gonna stop it." You know what I mean? And then in Magnificent Seven, he plays a cowboy. Did you see Magnificent Seven?
Which one was Magnificent
It's a remake of the Yul Brynner, not from the 60s. Magnificent, he plays a cowboy.
I'm thinking about The Hateful Eight, which was
not The Hateful Eight.
Very different movie.
Yeah, very different movie. A lot of N-words in there. That's Samuel Jackson. That's the Quentin Tarantino.
Yes.
But this is Magnificent Seven.
I don't think I've seen it.
The Magnificent Seven is a famous movie from the 60s with Yul Brynner and Bronson and all those guys. But Denzel Washington is still Denzel Washington. But he just happens to be a cowboy. Is that your horse right there? Is that your horse? Everybody in here has a horse? Okay. You have a horse. I have a horse. I'm a cowboy. Everybody's a cowboy. He's the same guy, but he's believable. He was so cold that did you see Equalizer?
Yeah.
Whoo!
Yeah, that was dope.
Remember when he was in the room with your people, the Russians?
The Russians, right. Killed them all.
And killed them all. He said, I told you to take the money, but you didn't take the money. Now, did you? Now, right now, you're going to be bleeding on the floor and your heart's going to be slowing down. I told you to take the money. Woo! Was that a pretty good Denzel?
That was pretty good Denzel.
That was too bad, right?
That was pretty good.
Because you got to do the mouth thing at the end. Denzel does the mouth thing at the end all the time. He's like, I told you that. Huh? Right? Okay, all right. So we're here. Everybody's here. Huh? Man up. That's the Denzel pucker.
The pucker.
They owe Denzel Washington about 5 Oscars. They should have a back order Oscar award. Right. Or they need to slip him in the mail the Oscars that we really, because Denzel is not, he's Hollywood, but he's not Hollywood. You ain't putting Denzel in a dress.
Right.
You ain't making Denzel do no, he ain't doing that. Especially just to be doing it, just for some white male satisfaction. He ain't doing that shit. And Denzel gets snubbed all the time. So Fences, he should have won.
Fences was a good movie.
First of all,
I wouldn't put it up there with like a Training Day or a Glory.
First of all, but it was
more of it was a play.
It's a play, but it was a play on film. But the acting, first of all, what's his name? What's his name that played Bubba in Forrest Gump?
Yeah, Michael T. McKelty Williamson.
Michael T. McKelty, man, he was so good in Fences.
Right.
All of them. Viola Davis is like Denzel, female Denzel.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, but they're all theater trained. They're all theater trained. Mm-hmm. Fences should have won. Denzel should have won. And you saw his face when they gave it to Casey Affleck. Casey's okay, but Casey has 2 rape cases pending. And he still won. White power. I am keeping it real. He has 2 rape cases, and you beat Denzel. Because Hollywood has a problem with Denzel. I'm telling you. They gave him 2. They gave it for Training Day. Played an evil cop, which he was the shit.
He killed it in that role. He was
awesome. I love Training Day. I saw it 5-6 times in the theater. Right. They gave it to him for Glory. Mm-hmm. He played a rebellious,
slave.
But check it out though. A soldier. But
a former slave.
Former slave, yeah. But you notice Denzel was the rebellious one.
Yeah.
They always put you in movies by the way your real character is. Denzel always played the guy that don't take no shit from anybody. Hurricane, he should have won. I'm sorry. Did you see John Q?
Yeah.
Listen, man, this guy's Man on Fire.
Yeah.
Man on Fire.
Great movies.
He doesn't do bad shit. Even if the movie doesn't have to be super, super great, but Denzel's performance, it's always top notch. He even does little shit. Like, okay, here's the scene in Equalizer. Remember he finally meets that Russian dude who was a badass. That Russian dude, the killer that was after him. And he's looking at him, he goes, what do you see when you see me? What do you see? You remember he does the pucker? And he put his glasses in the drink. Denzel thought of that shit. There's Denzel nuances. Remember in Training Day when he told he caught those little rapist dudes in the alley? He goes, "You like raping little girls? Is that what you do? You like rape?" And he rubs the guns.
Yeah.
To get what? That's Denzel nuances.
Right. This is chess, not checkers, motherfucker.
Yo, you wanna go to jail? You wanna go home? Huh? Yo, give me the bitch. All that little shit.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
You done shot me in the ass. Denzel can pick his boogers and be the coldest shit. He goes, all right, so I'm picking my boogers. I got to clean my nose. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But as far as because you're always the same. Like most of the guys that make the most money in Hollywood are usually, other than like a Daniel Day-Lewis, are always the same kind of person. Like I said, Ice-T has been on SVU for 100 years. He will never leave. See, this is one thing about black actors. We ain't going no fucking where. Because we might not get another job. So Ice-T, I'm not saying he's the worst actor, but Ice-T has no emotion. He's the same, at least with Denzel, you see emotion.
He has some emotion in
No, he doesn't.
New Jack City.
New Jack City.
Remember?
I want to beat your ass so hard, making my dick hard.
Right, that part.
Ice-T is the same dude in every episode of Law and Order. Yo, I'm going to go check the bodies. And then he goes, yo, that girl got killed. I'm pissed. I'm like, what? Yo, I got you a gift for your birthday. Doom, 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 doom. Wow, wow. Doom, doom, doom. You know, that's the music.
Right.
Yo, I can't believe she did that to me. Doom, 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 doom. Wow. Come on, Ice-T is the same dude, but consistency is what works. I think it's what works.
I interviewed Russell Simmons recently.
I
interviewed Russell Simmons.
You interviewed recently? After this?
Right before.
Right before.
Literally like a week before all that shit happened.
Wow.
But and we'll get to that. We'll talk about that. But we talked about how
a lot of talent don't like to do a lot of work. A lot of talent likes to do all the work. And and somewhere in between, a proper manager can help them and they can make their own choices where they expose themselves so they have the most success in the world.
like a Steve Harvey's doing like 5 shows.
He hosts 9 shows.
Yeah.
I totally get that, but there's so many actors that are assholes on sets, that act like that treat people like shit, and they're still working. What are they talking about?
Do you think Steve Harvey's an asshole on set?
I mean, I don't know. I've heard different things of Steve Harvey, that he's mean to people. I've heard.
You've heard that little memo thing.
The memo thing. But I met Harvey. Harvey was always cool. I don't know Harvey like that. No, Harvey knows of me because I used to see him in Chicago, and I see him every blue moon, and he's always been kind of nice. But first of all, Harvey has earned his keep. First of all, he's earned his keep. Like, the guy's been around a long time. Mm-hmm. Kings of Comedy. The guy is his Steve Harvey show. He's earned all. Harvey didn't put on a dress to make it.
Yep.
He earned it the hard way. Like, fuck what you heard. Harvey is straight up, top notch. I earned my shit, and you got to get yours like I did mine. I get that, but they act like there are no other black people that can literally host a show. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But why not go with someone who works? Look at, for example, just look at VladTV.
Yes.
People always ask, why you gotta have Lord Jamar on again? Does that motherfucker live there? Does he sleep on your couch? Are y'all roommates? I've seen every weirdo
now they're gonna be shitting on me soon. That's right. All right.
But here's the reality. Me and Jamar, outside of these interviews, are actually friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We go out, we have drinks, we get on the phone and talk about non-related shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's looked out for me for various things. I've looked out for him for various things. We like each other. Like, just as
you want to be around
two
people
friends.
You like.
I like being around him. I like having these types of conversations with him. So I keep bringing him back on. Are there 100 other people that are just as interesting as Jamar and just as entertaining? I'm sure there are. You know what I'm saying? But I keep fucking with Jamar because we like working together.
He does good interviews. So
and he does good interviews.
Why people act like, first of all, they act like interviews are easy. Jamar's really good at it. Yeah. The dude's good. I love watching him.
And we have a good energy with each other.
Yeah.
And it works.
Listen, that part of Hollywood, I totally agree with you. You know what it's like? It's like pickup basketball games. I remember going to pickup basketball games. People will pick the people they're familiar with, playing with. Even if you bring the ball, it's your ball, and they don't pick you first. They're like, we don't really know you like that. But my man, I've been playing 2-3 years street ball with my man. It's the same thing. I think that's just how we socialize. Yeah. You socialize with the familiar, which I get.
Yeah.
But I think that Hollywood, you should respect talent, man. You can't have cats going to acting school, motherfuckers spending money going to acting school, getting their skills sharp, and then because some jackass is your homie that you bowl with, he gets to all the parts and he's whack. You know what I'm saying? Listen, not saying what you're saying is wrong.
Right. I mean, that only, but if the project comes out and it bombs, it doesn't matter if that's your man or not. No one's going to co-sign it. Someone has to sign a check at the top. You know what I'm saying? So
true.
Steve Harvey keeps putting out projects, and they all do well.
No, listen.
You know what I'm saying? People like the Family Feud. I never thought.
First of all, Family Feud is funny as shit.
Yeah.
I love watching Steve on the Family Feud.
I mean, because in fact, you never really saw black game show hosts.
Ever. Because
know-
the white ones wouldn't let us.
Right, I remember there was a...
I know all the white game show hosts.
Right, because I remember there was a comedian back in the day, this was like in the 90s or something, that said, you're never going to see a black game show host because you never know when a motherfucker going to slip out. Like, spin the wheel, motherfucker! Oh.
Or when they say you won $25,000, but can we holler at you, man? We didn't get all the funds yet, so it's really about $10,000 though. But let me holler at you though. We got some other stuff for you, man.
Right.
Got a bag.
Lo and behold, in 2018, Steve Harvey's doing Family Feud. Who's the dude that's doing Price is Right?
Prices. Oh well, that's what's his name?
Let's Make a Deal.
Let's Make a Deal is no that Jokers is Snoop Dogg.
Right.
He's doing Jokers.
No, but was it?
Let's Make a Deal is Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady
killing it.
That's what I'm saying. You
Wayne
see a
Brady.
lot of black game show hosts
But
now.
yeah, but why? There should be an Asian game show host. People who can speak English should be able to host a goddamn game show host. White folks are the default, man. Come on. They're the default. We grew up watching white game show hosts because they only hired white people. Why did we watch, if you look at old movies back in the day, it was all white actors. Cary Grant, Edward G. Robinson, right? It was all, right or wrong. It was all Lauren Bacall, Marlena Dietrich. It was all those, yeah, see? Yeah. And then when we showed up, it was like, yes, the boss. It was that shit because it was racist as fuck. They were racist. White men run it. They didn't want any blacks in it or Asians. And if they did have us in there, they had us cooning and buffooning.
I mean, Sammy Davis Jr. came in and kind of changed it.
Sammy Davis changed it, but Sammy Davis was saved by Frank Sinatra. Sammy Davis used to be in a tap dance singing group with his brothers.
Huh.
It was
Okay.
the Masterson Three, right?
I didn't know that.
It was in the Chitlin circuit. Sinatra was watching his act, and he said, "Who's the little kid?" And he was the youngest of his brothers. He said, "Who's that little kid? I want that guy. I want him to be part of the Rat Pack." So he brought Sammy into the Rat Pack, and you understand. And so without Sinatra, Sammy wouldn't have been anywhere. And here's where Sammy fucked up. Sammy was on a radio show. Sammy said. They asked him, who's the most talented of the Rat Pack? And Sammy said, I'm the best. Then he started talking shit. Sinatra banned him for 2 years.
Oh.
He didn't speak to him. He said, how can you sit up there and throw us under the bus like that? I brought your ass out of the fucking Chitlin circuit, and then you want to treat me like this? And I stood as your best man when you married that white woman. When everybody told you not to, I stood as your best man. And you know what else I did for you? Whenever we would go to a hotel and they made you go through the back, I said, I will cancel my show if he doesn't walk through the front of this door with me. Frank Sinatra was a loyal dude. He was a loyal motherfucker, man. And Sammy Davis wasn't that loyal for a second, and he ostracized him. And Sammy begged him. And they treated him kind of as a buffoon on their shows in Vegas. People were like, man, he's like the little monkey and shit like that. You know what I mean? But he's the one that made Sammy Davis famous. And Sammy Davis was very talented. But if it weren't for Sinatra pulling him in, he wouldn't have gotten shit.
Harry Belafonte.
Yes.
He came in.
Yeah.
Super talented.
Super talented.
Heartthrob to the ladies.
Good looking, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But never did the whole cooning thing. And
Did you see the documentary?
I did.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And he was like, I will give up my show before I make black people look like idiots. He was very pro-black.
Yeah.
Even though he got a white girl now. Just kidding.
Well, he had a Jewish wife, actually.
He has a Jewish wife, right. It was almost weird because he had he was pro-black, but he had this, because people were like, well, you have this white woman and you're pro-black, but your woman isn't black, but he stood his ground back then when it was like, remember when they had a big controversy? When he grabbed that white woman's hand when they were singing that number?
Huh, no.
That was like the first time a black man touched a white woman.
It's before interracial porn and all that, right?
Before interracial porn. I watched that. Interracial porn is hilarious because it's like that's where you can be your most racist, but then it's like it makes the porn more exciting. Racism and porn go together beautifully. It's because they'll be like white cock battles black pussy. Black dick goes in little tiny white pussy. Part 5. And you're like this, turn that on. Look at that big black cock going that white girl's pussy. And then the girl be like, give me your black cock. Yeah, I want that black cock. And it's so funny because the way they look in the camera like, give me that black cock. And interracial porn, like racism helps porn. I'm gonna keep that shit real.
So it's like the opposite.
You
want the opposite effect.
Yeah, you want the opposite effect. Like there's this white man grabbing this black girl.
Right, because in
like,
fact,
slave master and the help. It's like you have those dynamics.
Yeah, no, I remember I'd interviewed this porn girl named Chanel Hart.
I did a 10-man blowbang. And 2 minutes of sex at the end, but nobody notices that. They think it's a gangbang, but it was 2 minutes.
But in that cum bang one, where they're wearing the Confederate shirts, I mean, there is a racist element to that.
Yes.
You know, because the Confederate flag, depending on how you look at it, I mean, to black people, I think is mostly seen as a racist thing.
Right. I'm not conflicted by that.
Okay.
I'm not, because at the end of the day, like, I was there on that set, so I'm like, we were having fun, we were laughing about it. Like, racism is very serious, but at the same time, we make jokes about that shit too. You know, we make jokes about how white people and black people are different. So I feel like when I was shooting those type of scenes, I mean, it was kind of like a underlining joke. Like, it ain't serious. Like, I don't really feel like this, but.
Yeah.
I think I might have seen that.
You might have seen that.
See, and they'll have like a Ku Klux Klan member boning a black chick, and you'll be like, "This is racist." Be like, "But I like it though. It's making me a little. Ooh, I'm harder than usual. I love it." You know, they'll see this little white girl with like 8 black dicks, like, "Oh my God." And the father's like, "No, daughter." So now, have you seen those porns where they have the actual father in the back going, "Stop fucking my daughter." Yeah, white girl, I bet your daddy looking at daddy's like, "No, Betty, no." The porn industry is so smart. And then you're like extra hard, like, why is this so good? Because to use racial stereotypes in porn is the smartest thing in the world. Or like an Asian girl, against a black cock. Oh, shit. You know what I mean? I noticed one thing about porn. White dudes fuck fast as fucking porn. They're always like... White dudes are always doing it. They always do the fast fucking.
And the black dudes do the
black
slow
dudes
fucking.
stay in it a month. Black dudes be like, yeah, yeah. I ain't leaving this shit. Yeah.
Right, because I interviewed
I ain't leaving that shit. Yeah.
A few years back, I interviewed Wesley Pipes.
I love him.
And I remember
Dude, he's the funniest dude.
The greatest comment that I think I've ever read.
Yeah.
Was when I put it up and I read through some of the comments. Someone said, "Low key, this dude right here taught a whole generation how to talk shit in bed."
You damn right. And his thing is like this: don't run away from the dick. Don't run away from the dick. Where you going? Give me more. There you go. When
He'll talk through the whole scene.
Listen, when a brother has his Timberlands still on, that's the funniest shit. And he always has his Timberlands on with a grip. And they'll just show like his Timberland. Just gripped, like you'll say, "Oh, he must be at a good angle because he got a good grip." And he'd be like this, "Where you going?" Now I learned, I'd be like, "What? Don't run away from the dick. That dick too much, ain't it?" And this was his famous line. "How old is this pussy?" 18 years old, huh? Yeah, that's that 19-year-old pussy, ain't it? Yeah, there you go. He'll do that too. There you go. There you go. What's up? Is that all you got? That shit is dope. And the girl be like, "No, it ain't. That ain't all I got." Yeah, there you go. Wesley Pipes is my dude. You have Lexington Steele.
Yeah, I interviewed him.
The famous Lexington pullout. Because he'll be like, "Ugh!"
Oh, yeah, the scream at the end.
He goes, "Yeah." But he has, that dude be having mad nut, dog. Listen, I'm sorry, but I think there's gotta be a stunt dick or something. Because sometimes they bust nuts. You're like, how do you have all that nut, dog? They're like, and the girls are always like, I'm like, they got so much nut.
No, I remember back in the day, I was watching
decorating birthday cakes and shit.
I was watching a scene with Peter North.
Right?
Yeah. And he was having 3 girls give him head, right?
Right.
And when he was getting ready to come, He came on the first girl,
Right.
the second girl, the third girl.
Damn.
Had a little bit left for the second girl.
A little bit more. Went back for seconds.
Back for seconds. And the girls was kind of laughing like they couldn't believe it was happening.
Dude!
Because I couldn't believe it was happening. That was some unreal shit. It was like, I can't do that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I can't even decorate a muffin, son.
Right.
My shit's all like, my dick looks like a stroke victim. It just kind of drips. And I made all that noise just to see, like, I look like a newborn baby, just little spittle, right? Nothing. And these dudes are like, yeah. And they'll bring them, come. It'll be a group of girls.
Shit, Ron and Jeremy, I remember I seen a couple movies with him. As you get that, I watched.
Of course, Ron.
Ron, he'd have a girl count from 10 to 1. 10 down to 1, and when she would hit 1, he would come.
That is
amazing.
I mean, it has to be some tricks. Maybe they drank or something and they had to hold it for like a day or two before the shoot.
I don't know.
Or something like that. But I used to, that gave me low self-esteem. Like, look at all that nut he's busting.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like he just threw milk at them. I'm sitting here in my palm going, is that good enough? How about that? Is that good enough? Yeah. You know what I mean? These dudes are like, bleh, bleh. They're so dope. I don't know. That's porn. I'm a porn head, so I watched a lot of porn. Lots of porn.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
every man does.
reason
We're just the two ones admitting it right now.
Man, listen, porn, I still, even if I get ass now, I still watch porn. Mm-hmm. They don't understand it's a psychological thing. Sometimes you just want to bust a nut without anybody talking to you, yo. Mm-hmm. You want to be able to, like, you know how I get rid of a girl? I pause. That's my, you know what I mean? I don't need someone going, so is this it? Are you going to keep coming tomorrow? Why you always want a booty hole? No, when you bust a nut in porn, you're like, pause, you go away. No one's talking to you.
That's it.
You take the sock off your chest and you throw it in the laundry.
The sock off your chest.
Yeah,
That's
because usually when you're in it slides
use the
up.
sock?
It depends. It depends on what's available. An old t-shirt that I'm going to wash anyway.
Right.
You know, or something white that they'll blend in.
Oh, okay.
But don't let it sit there long because you'll see like the difference between your shirt
yellow,
and the nut.
Yeah, right, exactly.
When you let it. Everybody knows this. And this is what's funny. Every time I'm about to masturbate to a porn, I go, man, it's the last time, man. I gotta stop this, man. This the last. And you're like, oh shit. It's like every time I say I want to stop, you're gonna keep doing it.
It's an addiction.
Here's the thing. This is what I do. If let's say I'm going out with a chick. Let's say this is what I would used to do when I'm gonna go out with a girl on a date and I know I'm gonna get anything from her. I'll bust a nut before I leave.
So you'll be more calm during the day.
Because they'll be like, wow, he's such a gentleman. I say, because I'm tired. Because my evil is out of my balls. That's why dudes want to get, because when our balls are heavy, the evil builds. You see what I'm saying? And so when if I meet a girl and by the time I busted a couple nuts, I'm kind of exhausted and I'm relaxed. See? So that she's like, wow, he's really trying to get to know me. Little does she know, I'm just very tired.
H&M.
That's Heinz and Moritz. That's their name.
That's their name?
The Swedish dudes. It's Hennis and Moritz.
Right.
Fucking assholes.
They had that ad recently.
They had the ad with
they had
a
black kid. Kind of like an African kid, sort of.
He looks like an African. It's a Brit. I think they're British.
Which,
so he's probably Nigerian or Jamaican.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's like Caribbean. So
right. Coolest monkey
in the jungle.
jungle.
God damn. I mean, wow. That was like, really? We're still going there with that? And it's like, you know what's really sad? I wish we were like the Jewish community. That's like a Jewish kid. You see him in his yarmulke, he's a Jewish kid, and someone says, Hitler's favorite, I don't know, favorite kid or whatever.
Corpse,
right. And you know the Jewish community, them motherfuckers will have your ass canceled before you even finish the word Jew. You can go, done. You know the anti-defamation, all.
Right. Look at Mel Gibson.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean, has he really gone back to work since then? He's had a few little things.
He was in that comedy with Mark Wahlberg and them, I think. But he was stopped. They said, you better apologize to. They don't fuck around. Jewish people have a lot of power. I don't care what anybody says. You can talk all that shit you want. They got power. And I think there are different levels of Jewish power. I really believe that. Mm-hmm. And they would shut shit down. And I wish that we, as black people, could do the same thing. When someone disrespects us, we need to be angry at that shit.
Right.
But there was a lot of anger.
There was a lot of
on
anger.
social networking. I loved it because social network, everybody took arms and was like, "What the fuck?"
Right. The Weeknd.
Weeknd
Ended his deal.
Even that
G-Eazy.
G-Eazy, who I think is, I don't know,
the whitest rapper.
His rapping
ever.
stinks. And fuck him. Then I get some money. Now that beat is hot, but what he's saying in it is horrific. I was like, what is he talking about? But the beat is that beat is so hot. I mean, to me, Cardi B bodied that shit. Because she's so funny. Cardi B does not take herself seriously.
Right.
And she had so much fun in that. And A$AP Rocky, it ain't safe. They saved that song. But all the rest of them, the rhymes were garbage. But that beat is so hot. But
Right.
G-Eazy, I gave him mad respect for canceling his shit. He's like, nah, I'm good. That's cool. For a kid that's trying to sound black, the least you can do is help us out. Since you're making money off of our culture, that's the least you can do. You know what I mean? The mom, this lady, I think she's a fucking idiot. She said, you all need to get over it. Get over it. It's not a big deal. I said, no, you're trying to make money off your son. You're so fucking desperate for your son to be famous that, you know what I mean? That, it's like, why is it? Because he's a dark-skinned kid, first of all. Now he has to be a monkey and Joe. If he were a light-skinned kid, he probably wouldn't have gotten that same sweatshirt. Because a lot of times when you see kids in ads that are black, African-American, they're usually mixed. They always show very light-skinned kids. Now, this kid is a dark-skinned kid. Like, if I was young, I'd be like, wow, that guy looks like me. And then they had to make him... But I love what they did on social networking. They made him like king, the coolest king. And
Yeah, I think LeBron did that.
LeBron did that. See, that's how you step up. That's what LeBron's dope. LeBron's the shit because LeBron will speak up, and he is the NBA, and he still speaks up for issues, man. I love that he
does.
And he doesn't go crazy Malcolm X on the shit, but he tries his best, man.
Right, because I had Willie D on my show recently.
Willie's
Ghetto
going
Boys.
all out.
And-
He
and-
must be a coon.
Right, exactly.
His coon shit
and he
is
was
great.
talking about how Michael Jordan will never be a LeBron James just because he's never taken on the issues that LeBron's taken on.
Well, Jordan forever has had the propensity to be evasive when it comes to supporting the black community, which he gets so much from. To this day, I still can't figure out why black people would wear a pair of Jordans, why they would put Jordans on in the first place. Because Jordan does nothing but take. Now, I know that he gave about a year or so ago, but that was a publicity stunt because he was facing a lot of backlash over people getting injured in line while waiting on his release of his shoes. With those Jordans, like, I understand that, hey man, you make the tennis shoes and it's about, I can't be responsible for what people do to get the tennis shoes, how they, people act and all of this stuff, standing in line and the frenzy, I can't be responsible for that. But I can't be responsible for their behavior. It's right, you can't be responsible for that behavior, but there is some things that you can do to change the climate around the frenzy of people getting those Jordans. I mean, that's not changing. People, we talk about people's responsibilities in life all the time and how people should act, but the bottom line is that people are just gonna always behave a certain kind of way no matter what. So there's some things that you can do as a leader, as the person who makes those tennis shoes to try to circumvent some of the dangers around, that frenzy. I mean, he could basically say, you know what, instead of making so many making a limited amount, how about we're just gonna make these shoes in abundance and that way we're gonna kill the whole frenzy. We're gonna kill the whole idea of people not being able to get their hands on the sneakers. And I know it'll take away some of the mystique and everything, but what's more important, human life or selling those tennis shoes?
No, Michael, first of all, I'm from Chicago. Michael Jordan is the shit. Michael's in his own category as far as basketball, but
Social issues,
Michael
not so
ain't
much.
going. But and the thing is what do we know what Michael Jordan's doing? That's another thing we got to be careful of. Just because Michael ain't vocal, what if Michael's giving money to a bunch of black colleges that we don't know about, building new wing? We don't know, I'm saying. I would love to have a conversation with Michael Jordan and say, so what are you doing? Well, I'm doing this. And everybody should have different ways of expressing themselves. If Michael Jordan might be giving donations to some black foundation, you never know. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know.
Remember at one point he gave some money to like some black cause. It was like $500,000, but at the same time he also gave $500,000 to like the police league.
Yeah,
it was like one of
Michael,
those like trying to play both sides.
It sucks.
Like,
I know, but LeBron, let's leave Michael Jordan out. Michael ain't good for the social issues and shit.
Right.
Thanks for the basketball shit and changing the game as far as marketing the sneakers. That's your contribution to black empowerment, I guess, and owning a team.
Yeah.
That's a good thing too, but LeBron has a different way. And I love that LeBron likes to, when people come out of their ass, LeBron says little shit like, yo. And plus LeBron probably fuck your ass up too. He's a big ass dude. You know what I'm saying? And the mom is like saying, who cares? Get over it. Like, bitch, no. You know what I mean? I said it, bitch, no. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Why would you exploit your son like that and let somebody call him the cool? And were they you're at the photo shoot. And you see them put that sweatshirt on him. And you sit there and approve of that shit? You should be punched in your fucking stomach. What was that? You should be punched in your stomach, man. Fuck that, man. I just thought it was pathetic that she's going, what's the big deal? For money? I'm tired of black people selling us out for fucking dough, man.
Right, but think
we can make money and still be dignified, I think.
I mean,
I ain't got that much, but shit.
But you've seen parents sell their kids out.
Oh, of course.
So often. Like, I don't think Michael Jackson really molested those kids. But what type of parent would let their child spend the night at a man's house that's not related to them for some money? Or some little bit of whatever.
My thing is that Michael Jackson, first of all, Michael didn't molest no children.
Okay.
I believe
that.
I think they molested Michael.
Oh.
Because that's what I would have done.
You would have molested?
Man, shit. If Michael was sleeping, I'd put my finger in his butt. I'd be like, that's magical. That's magical. I'd be like this. Shibadunda. Shimona. It's like no smell. Of course Michael doesn't have a smell. I'd be like, Shibadunda. I'm telling you, because listen, it's Michael Jackson, so he's not no average person. It's the greatest entertainer ever.
Okay.
I would want to meet Michael Jackson. I want to be in the same room as Michael Jackson. I think those kids, you remember when you would sleep with your parents? Like, you want to be in the same bed with it's your parents. Michael's a cool character. Yeah, let's sleep in the same room. He probably has a big ass room with a bunch of beds. I'm going to sleep here. It's Michael Jackson. I don't think he molested anybody. I think they wanted to take Michael down. They wanted to take Michael down because Michael had power. Michael owned catalogs. They wanted to find a way to take his ass down. He's a black man. I don't give a damn how light he got. They got old pictures of him. He's definitely a black dude. They wanted to take his ass down. I'm sorry. I don't believe that shit. They wanted to take him down, man. Because he had so much power. He was the most known figure around. Then he was saying stuff in his songs. He was literally saying some political shit. And they were like, let's take this dude down. I don't care what anybody says. Please.
You said that black people who sell us out need to stay ostracized.
They should, black people who sell us out, should stay ostracized. Like, you should go to your room, like the sellout room. Go to your room and think about what you said.
So who's in the sellout room? Stacey Dash?
Yes, Stacey Dash is in the sellout room when she said, why should there be a Black History, why is there Black History Month? I mean, really? Are you really saying that? Why should there be a Black History Month? Because you only talk about white people in schools, and half the shit is a lie. And then when you, in high school and grade school, whenever we talk about history and it got to black people, it would be slavery and then Martin Luther King. And that was it. And then back to being white people being amazing. White people being amazing. Fuck, man. And then you feel embarrassed. And then they always make you read the paragraphs. When the slaves are like, Godfrey, it's slavery. Can you read the first paragraph? I appreciate that, white teacher. Here I go. Back in 1492, the Africans, I mean, come on. It was embarrassing, man. Now if they would have talked about Malcolm X and maybe African queens and kings before slavery, because we did a lot of shit before slavery. You know what I mean? We weren't just waiting. But history the way they teach history, they acted like black people, we were on the planet first of all, thousands of years before everybody else. They act like we were just waiting for slavery in the NBA. We were like, what are you doing? I don't know. I just wait for the slave to come get me. Then I play basketball. You feel me? How are we on the planet first and nothing is written about us? We are on the planet first. You, Vlad, you come from us. Damn it. Plain and simple. I mean, it's a trip because you look at a guy like you, go, how the hell did you come from me?
Yeah, I just interviewed Razkaz. He had this song
Raz,
called
word?
Nature of the Threat, where he kind of like broke down a bunch of this shit.
Yeah.
And, he was talking about like, okay, well.
There's only one race. There's the human race. And even if you think of the term human, H-U-E, hue, colored man, people of color, the evolution to lose that pigmentation, you'd have to be somewhere else for that to even evolve. Blue eyes is only 10,000 years old. There's no, like these people are changed based on their environment, just like birds and fish and everything else. That's why you can have a black bear and then you move it somewhere north and it becomes a brown bear, and if you move it really, really, really far north, it becomes a polar bear. And if you isolate it, it becomes a koala bear. That's how life works.
That's deep. I mean, I think the example about the bears is kind of, I mean, that makes perfect sense. I mean, ultimately, you're going to need more melanin in your skin if you're closer to the equator.
Exactly.
And you're going to need less melanin in your skin if you're farther from the equator.
Yes. And that's a rule with mammals. That's a mammal rule. That's how it works with mammals. And we happen to be mammals.
But that's just basic evolution. It's not, I mean, I guess you could say it's a mutation because one mutation happens and then that
evolution is mutation. Yeah.
So how are we on the planet thousands of years before everybody else? We traveled the world before everybody else too. You're damn right. We were in America before cats, man. We had been and come back. You know what I'm saying? We were around, but they erased all that shit. Mm-hmm. So they got relegate black people to just being stupid, ghetto, thugs. And the biggest thugs are Europeans. You guys are the biggest. I say you guys, I'm including you.
I'm European.
Yeah, you get it. Europeans are the biggest and the most violent race on this planet. They have been violent. They go, oh no, blacks are violent. I go, maybe in the 70s we started, but you started in BC and shit. Like, to take people's land, you have to be really, really violent. That's a lot of violence. To get rid of a whole race, you're the number one culprit of violence. White people are. Now that they've established everything, now they see people, oh, he took a loaf of bread. He did this. I go, please, you stole land. I took a piece of, you take land. Right. You take cultures, you take ideas, you take everything. And then you call everybody else thieves and murderers, but that's all you do is murder and rape, and that's constantly. I mean, you're raping nature. There are no more trees because of white people. Trees can't even be around. Trees don't even do anything to you. Trees don't fuck your daughters. Trees don't move in your neighborhood. They were there first, and you can't even leave. Do you know we need trees for the earth to breathe? The ecosystem needs trees. You know, you got that nitrogen and oxygen, that exchange that we have. You need that for the ecosystem, and it's going away. And you know what? My guess is that white men are chopping trees down. They don't hire black lumberjacks.
They don't?
No, because listen, this is my theory from racism. They probably aren't hiring a lot of black lumberjacks, because if they do have a black lumberjack, you will see it in Black History Month, the first black lumberjack. You know there's gonna be some brother like, because you know there was a brother going, hey man, I love to chop a tree. Get out of here, you Negroes. You don't know how to chop trees. You know that. Every job had to have a color barrier broken. Every job. Even a janitor. You know, there's black janitors. We see black janitors, right? But I'm sure at one time it was all white. There were no, and the one black janitor, one brother said, I would love to use that mop. Whoo, that looks like a good mop. Get out of here! You don't know how to mop. None of you people can mop. Use a napkin. And then there was the first black janitor, and he had his mop. He said, oh, Lord, you got your mop. Listen, mama, I swear to God, I'm gonna mop like I never mopped before. You know. Come on.
Being African, what do you think about the whole Libyan slave trade situation? What the fuck is that about?
Well,
in 2017?
2017.
Really?
This is more 1917. People act like, they go, man, 27. This is 1917. I really
1817.
Right. I think they think that century. Listen, slavery in Libya. Well, first of all, African people of African descent are always being treated like second-class citizens. In a lot of these countries, in Arab countries, they treat the Africans like shit. Like, it's a worldwide thing to treat black people like shit. You know what I mean? And I think the hatred of us is so bad that, look at the prison system. That's a slavery system. That's the new slavery. You know that. They're trying to get every black person, every black man especially, in jail. They want us all in jail, except for the NFL where they need us to play there. But they just need us to be some kind of laborers. They need us to be some kind because we're the strongest ones. That's why in slavery, African slaves were brought to this country because we were the strongest. We were brought to America because, like, on the plantations, like you see, like the Hispaniola Islands, Cuba, we were brought to cultivate the sugar plantations because, like, the Indians that were there already, Tainos, they weren't as strong as the Africans.
Well, they didn't have as much melanin, so they would just pass out in the heat.
And the Africans be like, "What is the matter? You can't take the heat." No, we can take the heat, and that's where the work is done. So, you know, this slavery in Libya shit, it's just hatred of black people, man. It's so fucked up. It's like sex trafficking. Hatred of women, it's the same kind of shit. But that's why I try to advocate knowledge of self. That's why learning our history is important as shit. Real history. The real shit. You need to learn everything that happened during slavery, not some fucking watching some movie where it's gonna be the white man saves the black man again. We need shit where we need a movie where white people walk out of it because it's so atrocious that white people go, I have to leave. This is too fucking horrific. Because slavery was horrific.
That's actually, I started watching the new Roots series.
How was the new Roots series?
I had to just stop watching.
Why?
It was just too sad.
That's probably lightweight still.
Exactly.
Because
shout out to Will Power produced it. Good dude.
Do you know what they used to do to pregnant women in the slave times? They would bring them to certain islands, hang them upside down on trees, open their stomachs, and stomp on the embryos.
Wow.
The cruelty in slavery is so next level that they bullshit us and don't let us know what happened. You talk about Holocaust, African Holocaust is so next level. This is like the hatred of us now is like, that's why when you learn history, the proper history of yourself, shit starts to make sense. Right. Now it's like, don't move in our neighborhoods. We don't want you dating it. But the cruelty was worse. It's still horrible. I don't like when people I had one time I was doing a show and I was talking about race because I'm a race guy. And this girl, some French girl goes, why is it always about racism? I go, because it started in your fucking country, lady. I said, Europe is the headquarters of racism. That's where it's manufactured. And they go, but it's different. Oh, I'm sorry. Your racism's different. So instead of nigger, it's nigger? The fuck is wrong with you? That's like putting sprinkles on a pile of shit.
You had a stand-up.
Yeah.
You were at a club when you went at it with a heckler.
Yeah, shit, damn right I did.
It was on YouTube.
I went from Harry Potter to fucking rape. Now, you guys tell me, what happened? What happened? I said rape. You mad? Okay. No, it doesn't matter where it leads. I'm going to do it anyway. I don't give a fuck. Go write a letter to nothing. How's that? You act like I'm the fucking founder of rape. It's John J. Rape. He was the founder of rape. Back in what the fuck? Are you one of those like, hey, don't do that. Talk about spoons. Yeah, want me to talk about bullshit and bomb in front of you? Fuck that. I do too. That's why I'm talking about it. No, I'm just kidding. What do you think I'm doing after this? You're not going home safe, baby. I'm just kidding.
And I always wanted to have a heckler video, so I kind of hammed it up a little bit.
Okay.
And I remember when I was in the middle of talking to this girl, I remembered, oh, this is my chance. So I kind of hammed it up a little bit, like threatening and shit. But I talked about, New York City is divided by Fifth Avenue, East and West Side, Fifth Avenue, at certain points of the city. And so when I moved from Chicago to here, on the news, the first 2 weeks I was here, they were talking about an East Side rapist. There's a rapist on the East Side rapist is struck again. And I'm sitting here like, East Side rapist? I said, that's a very specific kind of rape. Because what if he's chasing you and you go to the West Side? Well, he go, oh, you lucky. You lucky, girl. I stay East. I can't go West. I mean, that was what I was making fun of was the title they gave him.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, so you're not going to search on the West Side for this motherfucker? So that was the joke. So the girl starts yelling at me about how can you say that? I go, and what's funny is there were women in the audience telling her to shut up. She goes, they were like, didn't you get the joke? He wasn't talking about rape. He was talking about the description. So she just started yelling. I said, who the fuck are you talking to, man? Beat it. And the boyfriend said, what? You're going to talk about genocide? And it didn't even make sense. I go, what?
We're in a basement in New York. I talk about what the fuck I want because I'm a fucking adult. And if you can't take it, you walk out and leave. You don't fucking yell at me. You walk out and leave and go fucking YouTube it, write some shit about it, but you don't fucking yell and interrupt the show. You don't like it, you just leave. Period. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want, and you don't, hey man, dude, seriously? You need to take your dumb ass upstairs. I'm being real than a motherfucker this time, dude. Take that bitch ass shit upstairs, man. You ain't no fucking superhero, bro. You ain't no superhero. There's no S on your chest, dog. Seriously. I ain't no fucking clown up here. Shut the fuck up. Genocide? Get that bitch ass shit out of here. Genocide, punk ass motherfucker. Fuck out of here, man. Genocide.
Get the fuck, you know what I mean? So they yelled at me because I went up there and I had the joke is smart to me. But then I find out after that show, the waitresses said, oh, you know, it's so funny. It's funny how they got mad at you, but 2 other white guys came up before you doing actual rape jokes and they didn't say shit. And then when you went up there and you actually did a very smart joke, I said, well, then but they felt my fury though. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Fuck them. I hate that. And sometimes people get like that. With a guy, see, I'm a kind of comedian that my father was an educator, man. So I'm a thinking guy. I'm a smart dude because of my dad. I don't give a fuck how anybody feels about my material. I don't want to be you. If I'm corny, nerdy, good. I'm not you. I'm me. I'm a smart ass dude. I continue to be smart. I like knowledge. Motherfucker, I spent a lot of money in college, man. I spent money on loans. Motherfucker, right. I'm trying to get my money's worth.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My father whooped my sister and my brother's ass. African fathers, man. Why you think Nigerians have the highest fucking degrees in America?
So you got beat by your parents?
Fuck yeah.
Father, mother, both?
Both. And my mother was a snitch. My mother used to tell my dad, because we knew. Because when my father worked longer than sometimes my father would be at work and we'd be, doing whatever we do. And I knew my mother snitched on us by the way my father walked in. Because he'd be like, your mother told me what you did. Oh, shit. We used to get whoopings. You get whoopings? Did you get whoopings?
Not really. But I don't know, man. Like in 2018, you can't really beat your kids like that anymore.
I think
your parents could have gone to jail doing that shit
my
now.
My father used to be like, I will kill you before the police come. So you can't try to call anybody here. I try to go to the phone. I will cut your leg off. My father used to say he would send us back to Nigeria. That shit. Because, we were born in America, except for my sister. So my father said, okay, I will take you back to Nigeria. We were like, no. Because, we thought of stereotypes. Hell no. No, we got cable here. Fuck that. But yeah, I got whooped. I got an ass whooping. But, school was our thing. School was our thing. College, we education. So that reflects in my act, man. If it's about being white too, that's another fucking corny shit. Especially if a black person says being white, I go, man, why are you giving credit to white people like they're the smartest people? It's an individual thing. Just because you see somebody white don't mean they smart. Are you out of your fucking mind?
No, just like all Asians aren't good at math.
Hell no, they're not all good at math. But the way they study, it's because they're so intense in their study. Because they'll be in a library for 9 hours, which is stupid, but you're supposed to be, because the brain, the brain shuts off around 2 hours. 2.5 hours, the brain is at its capacity and you have to rest. So, yeah. So it's just the way they're trained. But yeah, it's an individual thing. Smarts is an individual thing. This shit here, enough of that. Yep. You know what I mean? And so it's not about being, when people say I'm trying to be, first of all, I'm smarter than a lot of white comics. So what the fuck are you talking about? So I'm just a comedian, motherfucker, but I'm smarter than a lot of white comics. I'll run circles around the motherfuckers. That's real talk on the intellectual shit. And then there's guys that are smarter than me. I mean, whatever.
Right.
But don't ever tell me you trying to be,
Like George Carlin was pretty smart.
You damn Skippy, and it's one of my favorites. That's some of my Mount Rushmore comedians.
Yeah, George
Carlin, Pryor, boom, Paul Mooney.
Yeah.
Please,
Paul
man.
Mooney, yeah, very
Paul
smart.
Mooney, Gregory, come on, man.
Yeah,
These are
right. Dick Gregory, another one. Yeah.
Conscious dudes, man. I'm like, I want to be smart. Let me stay in my lane. I don't have a problem doing smart shit in front of all white audiences too. I don't have a problem with that. You feel me? But it's almost like the slave that could read. How dare he? I can't believe he knows these big words. Lord have mercy.
There was an interview recently on Montreality with a rapper named Russ.
Russ.
You know about Russ?
Who's that?
He's a white rapper out of, I think out of Jersey or something.
Okay.
Got some big hits, you know? And he said something interesting. He said that everyone would always say, if Biggie and Pac were still here, hip-hop would be different. Them motherfuckers would still be running the game. But he said, nobody really knows if Big and Pac would have stayed hot into their 40s.
Okay.
You know, like, he said, look at DMX. Mm-hmm. Look at Lil Wayne, who's not even 40 yet, and yet, you know, people ain't really fucking with him like the way they used to.
Yeah.
And Lil Wayne was the hottest dude ever.
I mean, that's
you know?
all you heard was Lil
Yeah,
Wayne.
I mean, I would say Wayne was at a Big and Pac level at certain points in his career.
No.
No?
Wayne was the most popular, but as far as lyrical, hell no. Wayne wasn't, no. Lil Wayne, as far as popularity, and to me, this is my opinion, change of style in hip hop. He had that southern thing.
Yeah.
He's the reason why these guys are out. All these there's a lot of little somethings.
Yeah.
Little this, little that, little there's a lot of littles. He
yeah.
started the little, there's little, what is it, there's little head, little feet.
Yeah, a little pump.
There's little pump, little eye.
Little skies.
Little nose, little dick, little butt, little leg. What else? There's little face. Right? There's little there's littler Wayne. Is there a littler Wayne? Maybe there's a smaller motherfucker say, I'm smaller than that motherfucker. I'm little Wayne.
Littler Wayne.
I don't fucking, there's a lot of little motherfucker. L-I-L, little, lot of little, you know? Right. He started that kind of shit. But as far as Pac and Biggie, as far as lyrical content, nah. Pac and whatchamacallit would have ran circles around him because plus they were talking about kind of different shit a little bit. The intensity too, because if you listen to Pac and Biggie, there's an alpha male energy there, gravitas. Lil Wayne sounded like a kid to me. He always sounded like he sounded like a little kid. A lot of the rappers sound very young. They sound like little boys.
Yeah, but let's just say someone like a Method Man.
Method,
who was
the shit, and still the shit, and still dope.
Still the shit, but people ain't fucking with him these days on the hip hop side, the way they were. Like, you see what I'm saying?
But that's every kind of music genre. Stevie Wonder's still a great, but everybody's not fucking with Stevie Wonder.
Right.
But Stevie Wonder's still etched. See, this is all transient stuff, man. Like music has always changed, man. Think about music from the 20s. Then there's jazz, then there was bebop.
Right. But look at Jay-Z. He's still very hot these days.
No, Jay-Z is incredible, but
Right.
here's another thing too. I think also it's all about marketing. I think there's the business side to it too. Jay-Z is a really brilliant business guy. Yeah. And he's married to Beyonce. And it's just almost I think that's when because show business, the show is a smaller word. Business is the bigger word.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's more also, Jay-Z is a dope-ass rapper. First, he stays relevant, but I think he has just access to more shit, too. Like, Method Man, to me, is more of an underground-ish type of person to me. Like, Wu-Tang Clan, to me, is the greatest hip-hop group ever, to me. I think. What is your opinion? I think
favorite hip hop group.
It's my favorite, and then you have Tribe
Called Quest. I was going to say
that. Of course,
but
Wu-Tang for me, as far as like their symbol, as far as their attitude, as far as you know what I mean. It's just and people continue to listen to Wu-Tang Clan. When I bring up Wu-Tang Clan on stage, people lose their shit. Like they go because it's still that symbol.
I got one that I like better than Wu-Tang.
But what's better than Wu-Tang?
NWA.
Nah.
Nah?
Listen, I love NWA for what they did to the game.
NWA.
Listen, you know what? When they say favorites, they're all different groups.
Matter of fact, I might have to say I like Public Enemy better than Wu-Tang.
I don't like Public Enemy better than Wu-Tang. I like them. I love Public Enemy too.
see what I'm saying?
But here's the
See what I'm saying?
But here's the
there's
thing,
a
though.
lot.
There's no. This is what I was. Fuck the favorite shit.
Right.
They're all great in their own, because you're talking about West Coast. NWA is West Coast style. They brought gangster rap. They changed the face of music.
Totally changed.
Public Enemy was more conscious rhyming. It was more like they were like the Malcolm X's of hip hop. Malcolm X, Medgar, they were like the civil rights leaders of hip hop. Wu-Tang Clan was the martial arts of hip hop. It was more like, let's take it to the streets and cut people's heads off. They were like the samurais of hip hop. Then you have like Tribe Called Quest was more like the jazz rappers. They were like the Louis Armstrongs and the, you know what I mean, the Max Roach.
Right.
They were like the jazz rappers. Like with De La Soul, they were the conscious jazz.
Right.
So I'm not putting anybody better than anybody because I hate when people do that shit.
Black Thought.
Woo!
Right.
Black Thought.
I did not put Black Thought in my top 10 list.
But
And
see,
he came
fuck a
back-
top 10.
He came back and did
Listen.
probably the greatest live freestyle I think anyone's ever heard.
Black Thought, fuck, man. That shit blew, that made my brain hurt.
Right.
That was incredible, man.
Right. And he did it all in one take.
One fucking take. And I heard you thought it was like edited. Nah, man,
It was one take. Yeah.
that was one take. And you know, with rappers, they got so much material, they can piece things together. That's still a freestyle. You got to still be on beat and still.
yeah.
What was that? What's the track? What's that track? What is that track from? It's from a song from the 90s. And I was trying to like, what is that track? That track's so cold. I'm trying to remember what that Black Thought track was, man. Because I was like,
It was Mobb Deep.
that track is so hot. But Black Thought, here's the reason why people don't consider Black Thought, I think. They don't think Black Thought as like when they start bringing out rappers.
Burn. Burn was the instrumental.
Okay, Burn,
Mobb
because
Deep,
people will
Mobb
be
Deep,
like,
Burn,
people will be like, you know, they'll go Rakim and they'll go, you know, we name the guy Rakim, Nas, blah, blah, blah. The reason why, because Black Thought has always been part of the Roots. Like when you think of the Roots, you think of Questlove. It's a group thing. They're so big as a group that he's just, and Black Thought. Black Thought, I think, needs to start doing solo projects because he's always going to be with the Roots. The Roots are great together. They've been around long enough where Questlove is always doing shit. It's always about Questlove. When I think about the Roots, I picture Questlove.
Yeah.
Then I picture Black Thought.
Right.
He seems like just like a cog in the wheel. And he's one of the coldest rhyming motherfuckers of hip hop ever, period. Because he's conscious. His conscious shit is sick. And I put him up there with the Rakims and all that stuff because of his lyrical content and what he's saying. I'm telling you, Black Thought, it's just that it's the group that overshadows him. I think that he should do solo shit. He needs to do Black Thought shit.
He's done solo shit.
But it's the Roots. The Roots name is so powerful. That's what I think the problem is. You know what I mean? That's what my theory is. I think that he needs to do more Black Thought solo shit, like videos, all that. He needs to be like just by himself, but still be with the Roots. But he really needs to. I don't know. I think it's more of a marketing thing and people's image. Because when you think of Nas was always by himself.
You know, he didn't do solo shit. He did a mixtape and
Right, he doesn't do.
He's supposed to have something called
doesn't-
the Talented Mr.
Listen, I would have
Slaughter.
had a Black Thought album by now if he did solo shit. Like KRS-One is a soloist. Nas is a soloist.
Yeah.
Rakim was a soloist. It was just his DJ. But all those guys we name
Yeah.
are just, they're literally by themselves. He was always with the Roots. It was like Black Thought and the Roots. Black Thought and the Roots. And the Roots, with them being Jimmy Fallon, their brand is so heavy and so huge. They have Roots picnics. Roots. Black Thought needs to be like, Black Thought, blah, blah, blah. Black Thought, and then you'll really see, oh, he's one of the greatest rappers ever. Fuck what you heard. That freestyle inspired the shit out of me to do something. I don't know what the fuck, but I just started
gonna be
washing
something.
dishes and shit. I was like, fuck, man.
Gotta
I
get
want
my
to see
life
what I can
together.
do for 10 minutes straight. I was like, I washed dishes. I had shit. I meditated for 10 minutes. I was like, can Black Thought do that? I was like, that was incredible, man. And to me, it's like with what Remy Ma did with Sheether. She literally, I really think she kind of brought like old school shit back. Like that's what Jadakiss is doing, Styles P is doing. These guys are coming with some shit, man. My boy Talib is my man. Talib Kweli, they're not going away. Old school hip hop, fuck that. It's just, it's the forever school to me. That shit doesn't go. The foundation of hip hop does not go away. It's like comedy. You'll see some of these alternative comedians, and I'm not knocking any of them. Some of them don't have punchlines. They think that not being funny is cute. I'm like, I don't give a fuck how weird a movie is. You still got to have a beginning, middle, and end. You always need that foundation. It's just like hip hop. You need bars, man. Bars. And I think Remy Ma, like, kind of almost single-handedly brought back real hip hop, real rhyming. Like, they were like, that's what I'm talking about. I like what she did to Nicki Minaj. She shook up the fucking system. Nicki didn't come back on that one.
Not really.
Nicki needed help. She was like, doing that cartoon shit. Yeah, well, look at all my money. And Remy Ma said, bitch, I don't give a fuck about the money. I was locked up and you was talking that shit. Now I was like, hell, fuck, someone put their foot down. And Black Thought made a statement and going, you all don't get it fucking twisted. Yeah. You still need bars. First of all, this is what Method Man, have you seen the Method Man and Black Thought freestyle?
That was dope.
Listen, man. Method Man's one of the coldest, shit, man. Method Man, his voice is one of the coldest things in hip hop. Redman is another sleeper. I don't care what anybody says. These guys' references, their similes, they're so clever. They're so clever. And I'm not ranking. I like them all, man. I like them. Fuck the ranking shit, man. Mm-hmm. Rakim is the one that really set that for everybody. He was the guy, I can literally say Rakim first. Now, I mean, all these dudes are great, man. I want an album of all the people we keep ranking. Mm-hmm. Just them do a whole album of about 15 to 20 songs of everybody doing all the ones we love. Yeah. KRS, Nas, Chuck D, everybody do some shit because they're all great. They all meant something to us. Yeah. They all meant something to me. As a black man going to a very white university, they got me through college. You understand? Mm. They are my, what feeds my anger. All that hip hop is what feeds my comedy. Because Method Man, who I've known for a long time, I was with him last year in Denver for 420, him and Red. Method was like, yo, man, it's like he respects my comedy. He says, because you up here all the time with your shit. I said, but that's how you think, man. Your fucking similes and shit like that, they don't stop being authentic like that. So, yeah, that whole Black Thought really, that was so important that he did that shit.
That shit was dope.
I thought you didn't. You didn't like it, or
no, I loved it. You couldn't front on it. And
it was fucking
the thing
amazing.
is that when I made my statement about Black Thought, me and Jamar were talking. Strictly as an MC, I would not put him on my top list. I felt he's a great person in the role of the Roots, but him as an MC, period, I wouldn't put him in the same breath as a Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas, Tupac, J. Cole.
Listen,
I
wouldn't, because those are different. See, there's so many different nuances to this shit.
Rakim, KRS-One, I would put all these guys.
Hip hop motherfucker, there's so many nuances to this shit and different layers and levels that you just don't understand. Like Black Thought is not supposed to be talked about with a Jay-Z and those type of MCs necessarily. But when you talk about just real lyrical, pure hip-hop motherfuckers, like, yo, he's gotta be one of the top motherfuckers in that. And it's not about sales, again. You see what I'm saying?
I'm not talking
even
about sales.
Records that he had. I'm talking about this motherfucker got bars and bars and bars, and his shit is just always, it's just always super strong.
It got so big that Black Thought started to comment on it. You know what I mean?
Did
yeah, he got on Twitter and started commenting on it.
What did he say?
He said, I don't give a fuck about that shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's Black Thought.
But then me and him started actually texting and talking to each other.
You and Black Thought?
Yeah. And then
Black Thought
he said,
that was phenomenal.
He was basically saying, like, man, I'm disappointed because I'm such a fan of VladTV. Like, he even started pointing out, like, lines where he mentioned VladTV in his freestyles and stuff like that.
I think you set up shit so people can talk to you. You did
Is that what I did?
I think so. You're so sneaky. You're such a businessman. He's like, yes, can I give you an accent?
Maybe if possible, I thought to talk about him. Maybe he'll call me. Maybe I say, well, no, I don't like too much. It's good, freestyle, but many black guys do that many times before Black Thought. And why do you call yourself Black Thought? You are black and you think. Is that well? Maybe possible.
I'm really thinking that Russian brain of yours. You be like,
that's
you
the
do
real
it.
plan. That's
I
coming
really
out,
think
right?
you go, yeah, he's all right. And then that you got, because first of all, Black Thought is the busiest man around. And he actually responded to your ass.
Oh, yeah.
Because shit was incredible. Fuck what you heard. That's like saying Michael Jordan's dunked this way and boop, stop, fuck out of here with that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That motherfucker did it. That was like a dunk contest. And he did this shit. He did that. You know that dunk where everyone's like,
Right.
oh!
Right.
That was to have that kind of brain power. I wish they had a scan on Black Thought's brain at the time, and just to see the electrical impulses that were going on. That motherfucker was so cold, man. Come on, man. That shit was unreal. I'm sorry for your loss. Right at the beginning. Oh my! And then when Funkmaster Flex was like bars. And then he was talking about like some of these kids, I don't know what you say. He goes, at all. He was so cold. And then the thing that it made sense. And you pictured shit. See, that's another thing. When you rhyme, these other motherfuckers, him and the hummers, this is what these motherfuckers do now. Woo! And they do these sounds now. Woo! Woo! Hell no. Fuck out of here, man. And there's other kids rhyming. They're like following the lyrics. I go, those are lyrics? They're going, yeah, man, that's the shit. You don't know Lil Head, Lil Body, Lil Butt? That's that new song called Oh Hell No. Hell no. Woo! Hell no. Woo! Yeah. Fuck out of here.
Last time you were here,
Yeah.
you started breaking down a lot of your impressions.
I did.
Right.
I did impressions, I know.
Right. Which to me, like, honestly, like, I think you had the coolest impressions that I've heard so far.
That's cool, and I can't get on any of those fucking
I mentioned that to Russell when I interviewed him.
Godfrey was one of these comedians that's always kind of been on the verge.
Yes.
You know, never quite broke through to like a Kevin Hart mainstream level, but has always had like dope work. And you know, when I interviewed him, like his impressions were on another level.
There's a lot of brilliant guys, again, who haven't gotten their shot or the right role. Sometimes the right role is what matters, you know? And where they expose a part of them that everybody just falls in love with, you know? So it's my job as a producer to find a way to give them their voice in a way that people can digest it and you know, it'll flourish.
But you have other impressions as well.
I do?
You got Stephen A. Smith.
How do you know I do?
Do you?
I think I did him once. He goes, like, remember when Steve and Skip Bayless were together? And he goes, now I'm gonna talk to you about this. I mean, I agree with you on all kinds of things, but psychologically you are wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's one of the best players I've ever seen. I'm not gonna disrespect him. But how in the world can you tell me that this man, I mean, he's a bad man, but how can you tell me that all his passes have been intercepted? He has a passer rating of 2%. You are wrong, and you need to get your stuff together. No disrespect, though. I think he's a great person. He's one of my best friends.
0 to 100, real quick.
Yeah, he's hilarious, dude. And Skip Bayless would be like, Skip Bayless always goes, now I heard everything you said. Everything you said. I've been here since the 70s. I'm a white man. I know nothing about the black plight that you're talking about. But I don't agree with you on that. That's and my thing is what is it?
Shannon Sharp.
Skip, listen, Skip, I'm gonna tell you something, Skip. Now, I disagree with you, Skip. Now, before Skip, all you do is say Skip all the time. Skip, now what did I tell you, Skip? Last week, Skip, how many losses did they have, Skip? Okay, Skip, now let's go back in the past, Skip. Now, when he threw all those passes in the Super Bowl, what happened, Skip? Exactly, Skip.
Just go Skip in there.
Just go Skip. Skip. Listen, Skip. Skip. Listen, Skip. I done told you many times, Skip, that you was wrong. When it comes to us, you don't have no idea what you're talking about, Skip.
Lupe Fiasco.
Yeah, where is that guy? Lupe Fiasco.
Chicago.
Well, he's from my hometown,
Right.
but I know he went on a real political thing where he shit on Obama. He was snapping because I love his kick, push, coast. That was my favorite song of his. All the other songs pale in comparison to that one to me because that beat
Really?
is,
He has some joints.
no, he has some joints, but kick, push, I just think that is just such a just a wonderfully produced song.
Well,
Because it's metaphoric with his kick
Yeah.
push is metaphoric to skateboarding and,
Yeah.
and life.
And life,
I love
right.
that shit. Go ahead.
Well, he recently said that Kendrick Lamar is a phenomenal storyteller, but not a top-tier lyricist.
I believe that. I think Kendrick. First of all, Kendrick Lamar is phenomenal. He's doing phenomenal work. I'm not.
Damn was a great album.
Damn. Listen.
Great.
I when I saw him live at the Chappelle Day, I thought he was great. I love what he's doing. I'm not. See, it's okay to like not like certain people. It doesn't mean you're hating on them. That's people like to. Oh, you hating on? No, I think he's great, but I don't think he's no Nas to me. He's no. This is. See, I go by that.
I have an interesting history with Nas.
What happened?
You
What'd
know,
you do now?
what I do now.
Oh,
you
man.
know, and I've been saying this for a long time.
Does Nas like you?
I've never actually met Nas.
What the fuck relationship do you have with him?
I have no relationship. We took one picture together once. That's it.
Okay.
I've never had a conversation with him.
Oh,
I've never
wow.
met him.
I've met him.
You know,
once or twice.
me and his DJ Green Lantern are real cool. Like we've done projects together and everything.
Oh, okay.
But Nas I've never met. But I am a huge Illmatic fan. I think Illmatic is a top 5 album,
damn right.
any genre,
It's-
period.
it's just
brilliant,
brilliant. Damn
changed
right.
the game, everything else
Damn
like that.
right.
But you know, I've said over time that Nas, in terms of artists of his caliber, is the worst beat picker of all time.
I agree with that. I think that a lot of times, like when I buy all of Nas's albums, and it'll be like 1 or 2 or 3 good ones, and then the
Exactly.
rest goes to shit. But it's
Exactly.
not. I think it's producers that are doing that. I don't know.
Well, he's
But
the
part
final
of it,
say.
of
He's
course.
he's got the final
I think
say.
that it was like, as far as his rhymes, Nas can rhyme over a motherfucker hitting the
Exactly.
fucking putting his foot on the cement. Not lyrically, he's still one of the greatest. Fuck what you heard. I love Nas, but sometimes I get disappointed in something. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Right.
You had that.
Yeah.
Then who made that beat?
Yeah, Thief's Theme. He had 2 singles with the same beat. Thief's Theme and Hip Hop is Dead. I thought that was super lame. But
Yeah, my thing is, and especially when you go to these recording, like I've been to some recording sessions, and they have like the best equipment. You know, I think it's the equipment that fucks people up.
Right.
Because the shit is so dope. Like the speakers are so great that the shittiest beat sounds hot.
everything sounds good.
You like, damn.
No, I know. I remember reading about
You need
how
to play it on a small,
Yeah.
shitty radio
Yeah,
to really know if your song
like,
is
I
good.
remember like I was reading how Eminem, he has like a Ford Focus or something, like some little shitty car.
And to see if it
and
sounds
he
dope.
goes out to his car and plays it in that stereo.
See if it sounds dope.
To see if it's cool. And if
That's
it sounds
right.
shitty there, then he knows it's really shitty. So he goes back into the big
That's
studio.
that's the truth, because
Right.
that's what I think it fucks your hearing up when something's so loud, because they bump that shit loud and you're like, and everyone's in there like this, being all delusional. Hell yeah, this shit is hot, bro. And then it gets released. Everyone's like, the fuck?
Right.
So that's what's important. I think Nas, like you said, album-wise, sometimes the tracks are what's fucked up. Because
Right.
I ain't worried about his rhyming shit. Hell no.
Never
But
said
sometimes
anything
the
bad
music
about his
will make
rhyming.
me so mad, like, this beat is weak. Fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it happened to Busta Rhymes a few times.
Yes, it has.
And Busta, when Busta gets the right beat, it's a fucking
Oh,
rap.
yeah, put your hands where eyes could see.
Woo-wee!
Come on. Timeless. But
You know, give me some more. Dum, dum,
Yeah.
dum. Give me some, but they have to match with his personality.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes has a certain energy, man. And if you ain't got that, Busta Rhymes has to have that. And if you don't have that shit,
Yeah.
it's a rap. Busta's that kind of rhymer, man. And Busta proved it. I'm sorry, but the Chris Brown song,
Yeah, he killed it.
man, that motherfucker killed it so hard. I think he purposely tried to wax Lil Wayne.
Yeah, he did.
He was like, you should not have let me go before him, because after that, I didn't want to hear Lil Wayne's.
Right. You didn't want to hear
It was
nothing.
the song was over. It's over. Busta Rhymes is a closer. You don't put him. But are you out? The song was over after Busta Rhymes.
You know what's actually kind of funny?
What?
Is that when I interviewed Buster,
Did you feel like anyone's ever got you on a song?
You tell me.
I don't know.
Think.
I can't think of one.
I ain't in no rush. Think. This is something that I love to really.
Okay, I'll keep it 100 with you.
Mm-hmm.
The Flavor in Your remix. I think Biggie got you on that one.
I hear you, homie. I respect that.
Beat him out? Nah, Busta closed that beautifully. Lyrics is.
don't be mad. UPS is hiring. People are still saying that to this day.
Don't be mad. That's all right, but Busta closed that amazing.
Well,
5 new flavors on beat. Feel the fucking heat. I know you should retreat as we blow up the streets.
Right.
Instead of copping, please just freeze.
Buster's
maintain your focus as you smoke these marijuana trees. Get the hell out of here, man. What you talking about? They bookended the songs. They bookended it. It was perfect.
Right.
Biggie opened it up strong. It's like, you know, in track and field. I was the first leg in track and field, 4x100. The first leg is important that you come out strong.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the last leg is important. 2 of the fastest dudes are on the first and they were the 2 sprinters.
Okay.
They covered it beautifully.
Okay.
That's bullshit.
I personally think that Biggie got him, but I could see the argument for it.
What do you mean get him? What do you mean got him?
I just feel he had a stronger verse.
A stronger verse?
The more memorable verse.
For me, because first of all, Biggie.
You should have been a cop. Fuck hip hop with that freestyle. You bound to get shot.
But here's the
now
thing.
from Houston, but a rapper laugh.
Guns N' Roses, poses shaking in their boots. Oh, baby. No, listen, I get that, but it's more memorable because remember, Biggie was slower in the rhyme, and it stuck to you quicker. Busta Rhymes was like, hey. But hey, that shit was sick though.
Well, listen.
But that was Buster. That's the way he was.
Buster's answer.
But at that time when features was happening, the hottest niggas went last.
You went last on that song.
I went last on every song at that
Every
time.
song.
You could go back to Bunch of Niggas on Heavy D's Blue Funk album.
Yeah, you're right.
I was last. Scenario, I was last.
Because let me tell you why. Biggie is a slower. There's a slower start. Niggas is mad at it was
ashtrays, fucking fair one to get mine fast
way.
Ski mask way. Ransom note.
Far from handsome. But they
tote.
More Guns N' Roses.
Foes.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Biggie killed it.
Incredible.
Biggie killed it. Whatever.
First of all, Biggie is a lyrical genius. First off, I think he's a better lyricist than Tupac.
I agree.
But Tupac had more emotion in his. But Biggie's size was the way he rhymed. I'm just gonna sit back. Biggie sounded like a big man.
Right.
He's like, but Tupac is a little feisty motherfucker. Right. So Biggie, I'm gonna tell you that motherfucker, but he was like more emotional. Mm-hmm. Busta Rhymes was the perfect closer for that. Okay. Busta Rhymes is a closer. His energy was amazing. Busta Rhymes did what Busta does. I mean, it was like artistic and sick with energy and power. It was beautiful. I thought they bookended the song perfect. Nobody got anybody, but that's your opinion. Yeah. They didn't get shit. Everyone did their job. LL did his,
So,
Skeevy, delicious. Honey couscous, ooh damn. Hollis to Hollywood, but ain't he good? Whatever.
Everyone was looking at the girl during that part in the video anyway. So.
Potitious, skeevy, whatever that meant.
I didn't know what the fuck.
Delicious. It's like pink cookies in a plastic bag.
What the fuck is that
crushed
about?
by buildings.
I don't even know what the hell that's about.
What is that? But that's LL. Whatever.
Whatever.
Shit.
So the Nas conversation has been going on for a while.
Nas can do it.
You're one of the few people that have agreed with me.
As far as beats, but Nas can do it in terms of beats. He wants. And certain of the beats, I get mad at that because I go, you need to stick with Premier. Stick with Primo. Let him do your albums from now on. Right. Fuck that. Let Primo do your albums.
I agree.
I don't give a fuck what anybody's. Primo's
because New York State of Mind is my favorite Nas song.
Yeah, it's one of first shit. Primo, Nas got a bunch of dope shit, and Nas needs to stick with that's him. That Primo shit.
Yeah.
Like Primo beats are good for Nas. That's you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just stick with that. That's Nas. Give him the coldest shit. Fuck it. Blame the producers. Some of these producers keep coming at him with some whack ass beats, and Nas needs to go get that whack shit out of here, man. I'm fucking Nas. Nas's rhymes are always cold, but the beats will fuck it up.
Nas versus Kendrick.
There's no verses.
I've never thought about this before.
Nas wins. Come on. Nas wins.
I might have to say,
Nas wins.
as a rapper,
Yes.
I like Kendrick more than Nas.
I think you purposely, I swear, I think you purposely do this. I think you like doing that.
And can I tell you why?
He's not a better rapper than Nas.
Can I tell you why?
I think they're just totally different, but how?
I feel that Nas essentially rhymes today like he was rhyming back in 90 whatever.
What do you want him to do?
Kendrick, you've seen him evolve, and you've seen him change his life, his style.
That's his voice.
When you hear,
what are you talking about?
Kendrick sound. If you listen to
Kendrick
old
sounds
Kendrick
like
and new,
a little boy. But he just does. Be humble. And I love his stuff, but it's like, be humble. When I saw him in concert, I could barely hear his voice. Be humble. He's a little guy. And remember, this is not a diss on Kendrick, because I think he's one of the rap gods, man. He's gonna build himself as a rap god. I love Kendrick. I support Kendrick. But I'm saying voice-wise, like that's like saying Method Man should sound different. When Method comes on the track, you'd be like, oh shit. When Method does his breathing, shit is hot. You stick with what your voice is. What are you talking about? Ghostface, you know it's Ghost.
I think Kendrick though has used his voice as an instrument and has actually changed his cadences and his
because he started when he was 12.
And changed
so
his inflections.
Started when he was 12, so his voice started changing on normal growing pains, man. I gotta listen more, maybe listen some because Kendrick is Kendrick. He sounds the same to me.
I mean Kendrick. To me is
Nas,
almost
Nas. I'm not gonna let you. Hell no. I ain't gonna let you dog now. Fuck what you talking. Nas is relevant to me. I know that LeVar Ball or whatever, or what's his name? The Ball said that Alonzo said that Nas isn't
hip hop. Yeah.
Nas isn't hip hop, but you ain't basketball because you ain't done shit. So
I don't agree.
That's like saying that's like him shitting on Michael Jordan. My man, my shoes sell still. Relax. That's what you're saying. You're basically saying Michael Jordan ain't shit, Dominique Wilkins ain't shit, Charles Barkley ain't shit. That's what you're saying. That's the same talk. It's like you haven't even scored any points yet. You have no numbers. Keep your fucking mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? Get your numbers first. Nas has been rhyming since 80 what? Fuck everybody. He has etched his thing in stone. Keep your mouth shut. That's like John Legend shitting on Stevie Wonder. I'm the reason why you're here. You know what I mean? Relax, motherfucker. I can't even see, and half you motherfuckers sound like shit. Relax. You understand? So that's like talking shit about Michael Jackson. Shh. Shut up. People can't even do shit that Michael was doing, and Michael's more talented dead than half these dummies. And everybody that does a Michael move, it's Michael.
It is Michael.
Nas has influenced a lot of these people, and they need to fucking stand in line and show respect. It's not... And I like Kendrick. I like J. Cole. These are dudes that I fuck with. But this whole better than Nas shit, that's out of you out your motherfucking mind. Vlad, you crazy. You just want to start trouble. You're out your mind. Nas is still relevant. He's still dope.
Not saying that he's not relevant.
Damn right he's relevant.
He's not dope.
And you know what? These same people that talk shit about Nas, he walk in the room, they gonna sit the fuck down. The dick shrivel up and go, here he comes. You talk about the Wu-Tang. You've been in the presence of Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, lots of times.
Everyone sits the fuck down when Meth comes in and Jizza comes in and RZA comes in and it's You God and all. Everyone shuts the fuck up because you got a bunch of these punks wearing their goddamn symbol. You understand? So you know I said the Wu-Tang Clan symbol is the bat signal for black dudes, right?
Was it?
Yeah. At night it shines in the moon and we all do stuff. We don't tell you about that, but
yeah. I'm not in the club.
You're not in the club. You can't. It's black. Jesus, come on.
That's what it is. Godfrey, man, always a pleasure.
Yo, this
was
great, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
No doubt. Till next time.
Yeah.